So we've gone through habit forming, we've gone through know your why, we've gone through your values-based actions. How do we now go and take those different tools and apply them to your lifestyle and your food intake? Well, as we go through, one of the biggest things you'll see is that there are two different kinds of coaches out there as far as nutrition goes. There are coaches who preach intuitive eating, and there are coaches who preach doing a restrictive meal planning diet where they are having you on a very strict set of foods that you're supposed to eat continuously for a certain amount of time. So intuitive eating is the idea of having no good or bad foods. Each day you eat foods based upon how you feel while still working towards your goals. There are no foods that are good or bad. You just need to make sure you're eating them the appropriate amounts in order to help reach your goals still. One of the biggest things about intuitive eating is you need to learn to reframe the way you're thinking about food and how you see your habits. One study that came out that was very interesting was there was a college professor who wanted to show that you could eat any food in the correct amount and still lose weight. This college professor went on to eat Twinkies for every single one of his meals for an extended period of time. I believe it was about 12 weeks. And at that end of the 12 weeks, he had actually lost his goal body weight. Now, do I recommend you eat Twinkies every meal? No. But reframing that idea of good food versus bad food is always a good idea. Because if you see everything as black or white, it could lead to extremely restricted eating habits, which could lead to an unhealthy relationship with food, and you might also be missing out on some of the important nutrients that a certain food might offer. Another great part about intuitive eating is, if done correctly and working towards a goal, it can actually be very helpful for the person to continue doing that for a long period of time. It is a much more consistent and manageable approach to food as opposed to a short-term goal of losing a certain amount of weight in a very set time. We talked about the SMART goal. Is it reasonable? Is it attainable? These are important things to consider as you sit down and consider this change in your diet. So with intuitive eating, it is very reasonable, and over that time, it is also very doable. Another great thing to consider is if you are the person doing the cooking in your home, you need to account for different tastes, food aversions, and other things that might come up at the family dinner table. With intuitive eating, this will allow different members of the family to eat slightly different foods or different portions based on their goals. One of the downsides of intuitive eating is it may not lead to your goals being reached in the set amount of time. So as you go through, the intuitive eating may work better for you in your lifestyle.